Hello everybody. Well, this is a new project, so we are doing the 1999 Malaysian Grand Prix with the best laps grid. Michael Schumacher, by far the favourite here. And, well, there's the Benetton stalled on the grid. Schumacher away, but Frentzen is away better. That's the cat amongst the pigeons. I must be honest, I thought Schumacher would dominate this race by far, but Frentzen is providing a challenge. Michael might get back through here and then pull away. Let's see. Schumacher, Frentzen rides up the back of him, and he's still fighting Michael as they come out of turn one, and Frentzen takes the lead there. So, really well driven by Heinz-Harald Frentzen. So what's going to happen here, and you'll have to stay tuned after the race, because the race winner will send me to a location, and I will then ask ChatGPT for 5 challenges that I have to complete at that location. And so this will be a 2-part video, really, and then we'll pick up from the location we've been sent to, and the race winner from next time will send us on, and back and forth like that. Well, the favourite, the closest location to where I currently am will always be the world champion, but because we're in 1999 and Schumacher had his injury layoff, this makes it a bit interesting, because Schumacher is by far the favourite for this Malaysian Grand Prix win, but he only finished 5th in the championship. Due to his injury layoff, he might not win the race if he does that sort of thing, though. Well, so the race winner is crucial, and I live in the little village or stroke town of Hobbiton in Norfolk in the UK, and a win for the world champion Mika Häkkinen would keep me there, and anybody else would get me travelling a bit further out. And it could be any sort of location. It could be village, town, city. So yeah, it could be at ChatGPT asked me to go to a cafe somewhere, and there's no cafes there because it's a little tiny hamlet as Schumacher goes back inside Frentzen. So, but you'll get to see me trying to complete these challenges, and also we will discuss a little bit of F1 along the way, maybe stuff around the Grand Prix that we've just watched a little bit, but maybe also stuff to do with current Formula 1 if there's any big stories. So we'll see. We're going to have a bit of fun, and Häkkinen inside Frentzen. So is Häkkinen opening up a challenge for the win now? Remember, this is only 2 laps long. I said Schumacher was the favourite, but Frentzen and Barrichello, having looked like they could challenge initially, have dropped back, and a win for Michael Schumacher would send me to the small little village of Ashmanhoe, which is a couple of miles up north from me, but a win for Häkkinen would keep me in my hometown and give me a good start here. I've got a lot more facilities in my hometown, so it would probably make the challenges easier to complete for a first time, and you will see my face on the channel for the first time as well. But we're going to see whether I get a bit of a more difficult run around the little village trying to find things, or whether Mika Häkkinen will be able to spare my blushes and give me a reasonably sized place to go to for the first attempt. But it's looking like Häkkinen is close. I thought Schumacher would absolutely dominate this race, but Mika is close. There is absolutely no mistake about it, although nearly making the mistake that Schumacher nearly made the last lap. That's going to apply extra pressure to Mika Häkkinen. He won't really want to do that, but I don't think he's got a choice at the moment, because Frentzen is on his tail and Schumacher is looking like he's got a bit of a gap, and we've got maybe one more overtaking place for Mika Häkkinen here to try, and well, will Häkkinen be able to do it? He's weaving around all behind Schumacher, trying to keep Michael's eyes pinned on which way the McLaren might come. This might just happen for Mika Häkkinen. I think he started 5th or 6th on the grid. He's come through and he's taken the lead in the last corner. Häkkinen is going to win this Malaysian Grand Prix. What a performance, and it will keep me close to home for the first time doing this challenge with ChatGPT, and we'll find out what's going to happen there in the second leg of this video. So, well, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and stick around to see if I can, what these challenges are. I don't know what they are yet, and if I can complete them successfully. And also we will discuss a few F1 based things as we're walking along as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2, which will be following straight after this.
Look at the official results.
So Mika Häkkinen's win keeps it local for me to start with, and we are going to go out and try some of these challenges that ChatGPT has set. So the first challenge is to find something that looks like it could belong on or near a racetrack and declare it part of a secret Hofferton Grand Prix. I'm going to head to the Riverside Park to start this one because there's a lot of natural features and sort of curves in those features, so hopefully we'll find something that looks like a racetrack corner or something like that. This stave used to be full of boats, but yeah, middle of the holiday season and it's not that busy at the moment. So while I'm walking, I will just reflect on especially the race that sent us here, the real life. Behind that won't be any massively researched stuff. It'll be, you know, sort of a fan's eye view and a look maybe at possible philosophies and theories behind it. But the big story at the moment obviously is Lewis Hamilton and how that's going with Ferrari, so I did want to reflect on that first. So I'm sure by now we've all seen Lewis's interview where he said that he was useless and Ferrari needed to change driver. And I think that realistically his interviews have been a lot more downcast since the start of last season, really. And with hindsight, it is my thought now that Lewis, as soon as he knew he was going to Ferrari, he probably should have taken a sabbatical, taken time to recharge the batteries. I mean, yeah, we would have missed out the fantastic British Grand Prix win last year, but I think overall it would have refreshed him a lot more. I mean, there is a vibe of some personal issues as well, and maybe some settling in issues at Ferrari, but I think the biggest thing is that I think Lewis is just burnt out. Maybe he doesn't realise how burnt out he is, but I think now it's possibly a bit late to take that sabbatical. I think now at 40 and with the season he's had this year, it would be harder for him to come back. I think the time was last season to sit it out then. I mean, there have still been bits of the old magic. I mean, that sprint win in Shanghai was fantastic, and there's only really possibly Max Verstappen who could have pulled that off, other than Lewis on that day. I mean, my mind keeps turning to why is Alonso still pulling it off at approaching 45 and Lewis is struggling more? And my mind casts back to when Schumacher retired both times and he said, I need to charge the batteries. And he was in it for 15 years before his first retirement, and Lewis has been going at it for 18. And then he's got the effect still, I think, from Abu Dhabi 21 playing on his mind. And yeah, I mean, he seemed still pretty motivated at Mercedes in 22 and 23, but last year, you know, a lot of the interviews had a more negative context to them, and this year, obviously, definitely it's clear for all to see. I mean, maybe Lewis is hoping that, you know, next season's regulations will open it up for him to get back up there, but I think he just seems to lack energy now, and I think that unless he refreshes himself, even if the Ferrari is a class of the field next year, I could maybe see Lewis winning 3-4 races where he absolutely destroys Leclerc, but the rest of the season I feel like he's going to be very much a number 2. So I don't really know where he goes from here. I guess he's just got to keep trying to find something within himself, but it is going to be tricky for him. And well, by the time this video goes out, who knows, it could even be a case of he's already retired or left Ferrari. We'll see. It's obviously, there's a lot playing out in the background, so we'll see how that one works. Right, so I would say this is task 1. I came here because I knew you got these paths like this, and very much a track with a pit lane entry there, and we'll ignore that, it's just an escape road. Or that could be the track, and that's still the pit lane entry. But yeah, I think we've found a bit that looks like a track. Right, so target 2 is to find any object that looks like a tyre but isn't a tyre but reminds me of a tyre. So I'm going to go and find that. I'm going to head to the fields over the back behind the train lines because I feel that if I'm going to find a hay bale or something, which I'd love to find, that would be the place to do it. I know another place where I might find hay bales, but it's a good half-hour walk away, and I've not got a massive amount of time to shoot this segment of the video. So let's reflect on the 1999 Malaysian Grand Prix a bit. So this obviously, it was the race that Michael Schumacher returned to Ferrari after missing all the races since Silverstone with a broken leg, and he was in majestic form, wasn't he? I think he was a second clear of the field during qualifying, and then he had to constantly slow down to avoid winning the race. I remember for me watching it at the time, I was just like, Shui's unbeatable. you know, at the moment. Like, he's come back better. I mean, when Olivier Panis had his crash in Montreal and broke his legs, he was never the same again, unfortunately. But with Michael, it seems like he just came back even better than he was before. And it was just, you know, just after that Ferrari's period of sustained dominance started. Abandoned shop and trolley. Shame there's not a challenge relating to these, because we did used to race these when we were kids. So it seemed like Ferrari had gradually lost motivation through the course of '99, and that initially when Michael went out and Irvine won the next two races, and Ferrari looks like they were just going to sustain the momentum they built with Michael, but then they got to a stage, I think around Belgium, when the pace started dropping off, and maybe Irvine falling off and ceding second place to Coulthard in the late stages of the Hungarian Grand Prix shot their faith in him a bit. But yeah, and obviously Nürburgring, we all know the Martin Brundle commentary, why have a committee meeting, just send it out, and they were in a complete mess. So to see Ferrari come back to the front in the style they did in Sepang was quite astounding, really. And it seemed like the psychological boost of Michael being back and then Ferrari just going on to dominate the race, it certainly must have burnt Mika Häkkinen out. He did what he could and took third on the day. Right, so I'm now near the area where I was hoping to see the hay bales. They should be in that field over the back there, and so far it's not looking good. So still no sign of the hay bales yet, so keep looking for them. We will obviously reflect on Ferrari's disqualification after the race. I think it was barge boards, wasn't it? And I was kind of a bit of an anticlimactic feeling, obviously, because, you know, the championship was going to go to Suzuka all the way to the last round, and it was going to be fantastic. And then Ferrari's disqualified, bang, Häkkinen world champion. But you kind of have a feeling that, again, it's just fan theory, can't say for sure, but I couldn't help but get a feeling that, you know, having a championship showdown worked out perfectly for Formula One. So I'm sure if there was any way to find those Ferraris legal, that's what they would have done, and that's what happened in the end, obviously. And then that championship showdown ended up being pretty anticlimactic anyway, because Irvine went off in qualifying and Michael didn't keep up with Häkkinen in the race. Whether he wanted to or not is a different question. Right, no luck with those hay bales at all, so I am going to have to probably go to plan B and try to find a drain cover. So I think I'm going to go up to the walkway near the train station now. There is another bit that looks like a racetrack. That's where we used to race shopping trolleys when we were kids there, so I'll show you that bit, and I'll try to find a drain cover on the way as well. Actually, do you know what? These look pretty wheelie, don't they? They've got the skin on the outside, the bit in the middle that's like the bit with the brake, the main bit of the wheel. Yeah, I don't know all the technical terms. The main bit in the wheel where the brakes light up, and then you've got the nut in the middle. So, and that's more unusual than a drain cover. So that's really the sort of thing I was looking for. That's pretty much perfect. I have no clue what it is, but it's next to that, so I'm guessing it's used to help boats moor up. They're on they're next to every one of those posts. So, yeah, pretty clear they had something to do with aiding boats mooring. Right, so challenge 3 is channel your inner McLaren mechanic and pick up a piece of litter as fast as you can. So I've now got to go around looking for a piece of litter. That should be pretty easy. Finding a bin, maybe not quite so much. There was a piece of litter I walked past, but the guy, there was a guy sitting there fishing, so I didn't think he would have wanted to have been on camera. So I'll find another piece of litter. I'm sure it's only one, but yeah, it was kind of like the car coming to the pit stop, and then we said, stay out, stay out. Found another piece of litter, but there was some kids there playing some music, so didn't want any copyright issues. But here's one. Norfolk Cookie Company tag. I've had some of their cookies and they are very, very nice, but they don't belong on the floor. So I just realised I've taken my time here I'm not supposed to have a party, I'm supposed to just pick it up. So let's try that again. I think I picked it up faster than McLaren could change all 4 wheels on Piastri and Norris's cars. I only had one job though. Problem is, to find a bin I could lose a lap. That was basically the only piece of litter on this path, so I've kept this path looking very, very clean and tidy. It's just a path where I wimped out of picking up 2 bits that couldn't happen so much. Thought I'd pick that bit up as well, being as if I was a McLaren mechanic I'd have to service 2 cars. So that's 2 bits of litter, still haven't found a bin yet. I'm now coming up to the back of the train station, so there must be a bin here somewhere. Yeah, so this to me, this is a good old racetrack that we used to race the trolleys on. Much more fun going downhill. As you can see, you used to grab the corners and propel yourself with the railings and go all the way to the bottom. Right, so that's challenge number 3 done, and now we move on to challenge number 4, which is find a high point and stand on it like it's a podium, like I'm the winner of the Hopperton Grand Prix. So I'm going to head back up the ramp and into the Bure Valley car park, hoping there might be a tree stump or something around there. I actually wonder if this will do. It's P1. P1 indeed. Didn't take very long to get grass all over my jacket there. Right, so basically flown through those first 4 challenges. Haven't been in the town centre, just on the outskirts of the town centre, basically, because so many holiday makers here this time of year. It'd be difficult to shoot without getting loads of people in shot all the time. Another good reason to come out at golden hour rather than during the middle of the day. And now it's time for my final challenge, which is ask a local for a challenge. And I like this idea so much that I think I'm going to keep it in every video I do like this. So I'll be asking the local for an idea, and I'll just get 4 challenges off ChatGPT and 1 challenge from a local. They haven't necessarily got to appear on camera, because if they don't want to, but they set a good challenge, I still want to do that challenge. So this challenge was set by my buddy Craig, who works in the local McDonald's, and he told me to name 10 Champions League winners, Champions League / European Cup, and I named it 7 British clubs, and it was too easy, so we said 15, so we're going to go for 15. Right, so Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa. I've forgotten an English one, hang on. Maybe there's only 6, maybe I've just forgotten one. I'm sure I'll be okay. Celtic, that's 7. Real Madrid, AC Milan, Marseille, I believe, won it in the early 90s. So we're at 10. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Red Star Belgrade, I think, won it, didn't they? Paris Saint-Germain, they've only just won it, so that's an obvious one. I think I'm at 14. Juventus. So another quick reflection on the 99 Malaysian Grand Prix, just something I wanted to mention. Johnny Herbert, following his win at the Nürburgring, he had a little bit of a run of form, and then he beat Barrichello, who'd been on top of him most of the season. He beat him into 4th place, and Hakkinen, I think, was coming back through and only just passed Herbert in the last couple of laps to take the podium away from the Stewart. So big mention for Johnny Herbert there. And that is all the challenges completed. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Subscribing is free and it really helps the channel out. And I'll see you again for another race soon. Take care.